Today on Mike's Garage, we are going to be working on a 2012 6.7 Cummins. I'm going to attach a clip. My friend was down in Florida. He was taking a trailer down to sell it, and crazy noise started happening. So today we're going to try to remove at least the head, try to see what's going on. We posted it on some forums and everybody was saying flex plate, but this is a manual, so it can't be that. We're hoping it's just a valve. We're hoping it didn't scar the cylinder walls up too bad. So the plan is to get the head off today and kind of diagnose what's going on from there, and we'll see what we got. So update, what do we got going on here?
Taking off all the EGR stuff that was bypassed already, and just trying to get everything off that I can up here so I can get to the manifold to loosen it, so when I do take the valve cover off, pull out the push rods, the head can come out. So
right on. All right, Tanner, so what's the update we got here?
Pulling off the rocker cover, I guess is what you would call it.
Yeah, I think they called that the rocker plate. So what's gonna kind of happen is I'm gonna work on getting all this side off. So I'm gonna work on getting the EGR off, the alternator. I gotta loosen the top bolt and get that pulled away. He's gonna work on getting the fuel lines loosened and removed and pull the injectors. We have a system over here
Where I do it, hand you shit.
We're setting all of our parts in here, but what we're doing is, and what we highly recommend, is having a table set up to where we have each cylinder laid out so that you don't get things mixed up. So, cylinder 2?
Yep.
Okay. All right, we'll update you guys here in a few minutes. guys, so update is we just got all the push rods off. Up in the cab there's these grommets that allow you to push the push rod up through the cab so that you can get them out. Update, we are draining the coolant, and then we are going to start removing these hoses, shrouds, and the intake horn and everything else. All right, Tanner, what's the update, bud?
I have to take the intake horn off because I gotta take out the fuel tubes for the injectors.
You want to point those out?
Fuel tubes are in here. So I took the injector lines off, the fuel lines, and then you gotta pull this off, pull the fuel tube out, and then you get the injector out. But easier said than done.
All right, we'll work on getting this intake horn off, and then we'll show you guys how to get these injectors out.
Yep.
All right, bud. What's the update we got going on?
Great success. Intake horn off. Besides that, now we just got to get these big guys off, get the fuel tubes out, and get the injectors off. This here is called a grid heater, for those of you that don't know. That's about it. Taking a Coca-Cola break. Because diabetes doesn't run rampant. What about you? What are you doing?
Just
Is the
chilling.
belt off yet?
I'm working on really hard over here. Yeah, the EGR is
Exhaust
still
off
in the
yet?
same exact place. The alternator hasn't moved, and
What about the exhaust manifold?
yeah, hasn't been touched. So we're working very hard over here. I'm glad your side is having more success than mine.
Great success, yes.
All right, so let's tell our viewers what we're looking at here.
Whole bunch of not good stuff. So that thing sucks to get out. So I'm gonna use the bendy guy here. And that's not gonna do anything. Oh, great success. Wow. Wow. There we go. Friend, that's cylinder 2. So is this. Cylinder 2, very nice, done. All right, I think cylinder 4, 5, and 6, that's all you.
All right, guys, so you definitely want to keep these cylinder specific. So we are, obviously this is the front of the truck, this is the back of the truck. So we're trying to keep everything as organized as possible here. Just so that when we reinstall and we don't even know what we're doing yet. We're trying to more so figure out if this motor's junk, if it's repairable. So we'll keep you guys going. little update here. Last night we pulled the head. The camera died right as we were pulling it off. So what we found, our prognosis is that cylinder 2 dropped a valve seat. The cylinder wall is a little bit scarred. It's not terrible, but obviously the top of the piston is pretty rough. What we noticed, some issues that we were experienced right at the end, right before we pulled the head, is on the manifold. These back bolts here had these bands on them, and we really couldn't figure out why they were on there, other than the fact that they're there just to piss us off. So those were kind of frustrating. Other than that, the other thing is there was a bracket all the way back in there. It's kind of dark to see, but it was right on the back side of the head, and it holds the fuel line in. You either have to remove the fuel line or take that bracket off so that it can come off. So there's the bottom of the head on cylinder 2. So I don't think we're going to be using this. So this was kind of the setup that we had. We got chains coming across. It was a little bit difficult to get it past the firewall. So what we had to do is we had to pick up from the front and pull it out. Other than that, it was pretty straightforward. Kind of our thought processes now is finding a new head with aftermarket valve seats to make sure this won't happen again. Again, it's handy to, if you're going to reuse all your injectors and fuel lines and everything else, to make sure that they go in the same cylinder. So we went from, this is the front, back of the truck, so we're probably going to use most of this stuff. I don't see any issues with the injectors or anything like that. So we're going to try to see about sleeving the cylinder and putting a new piston in cylinder 2, and go from there. So on our next part is we are going to remove the long block and pull that out and get that over to a machine shop if we can find somebody to re-sleeve it. All right, guys, I just want to come out and say thanks for watching. Remember, if you do like what you're seeing, please click subscribe, and don't hesitate to leave any comments below. I'm kind of just getting into the YouTube channel, so I'm learning, so please tell me if there's anything I can do to help you guys. Again, I apologize if the video died halfway through pulling the head out last night, but there's going to be multiple parts to this project, so we'll definitely have a part where we're pulling the long block out. We're going to get it out to a machine shop, see if we can get it re-sleeved, and go from there. Thanks again, and appreciate the views.